What is going on, guys? It has been a busy last couple weeks and even months. My journey here in Hawaii is coming to an end. So the movers come in on Friday. And so for the last weeks, I've been really just focusing on getting everything squared away for the move and I'm moving back mainland. I also found out that I made Master Sergeant within the last couple weeks, so making it this year is definitely a humbling experience, and just excited for the opportunity ahead. I would say that there's a time for everything and everything happens for a reason, because last year when I tested for Master Sergeant, I had missed the cutoff score by 0.5 points, and so I remember the feeling of not making the list when the list comes out is just kind of like a drop in your stomach. You're like, damn, especially when you feel like you've worked your ass off for that year, to come so close and not make it and not have anything to show for it. I felt very discouraged, but my mentors and my supervisors kind of refocused me and kind of prevented me from going into a slump. And luckily I was able to make it this year thanks to them and the support of my friends and family and you guys. Really excited. I know as you go into the Master Sergeant rank and the SNCO ranks, your focus kind of shifts from a technical expert as a technical sergeant, learning everything about your job, to becoming a leader and looking out for the folks underneath you, making sure that they have the right opportunities, the opportunities that you did, and even some opportunities that you did not have. And at the end of the day, my personal philosophy is you have to look out for the people. It's emotionally or spiritually. You got to make sure that their personal life is good in order to get the best results for the mission. Because if their heart's not in it or they're focused in something else, it's going to be hard to make sure that the work is getting done. I think I have a lot to learn at this rank, but I'm going to try and be a sponge and learn as much as I can while kind of still staying true to myself and what I believe. But yeah, if you guys have been following me for the last couple years, you know that I got stationed here in Hawaii in August 2020 during the pandemic. So I came from the airplane over in Florida, and when I landed here in Hawaii, I went straight to the hotel and they said, you have to quarantine for 14 days. You cannot leave your room. So it was like a really nice prison. But I was able to call Uber Eats and I was able to get room service while all getting a per diem. So Air Force was paying for everything, and all I did was binge watch on Netflix and play Warzone. So it wasn't that bad of a deal. And I was trying to do like prison workouts because I couldn't work out or run around, but it was a time, right? And I kind of want to reflect on the last 4 years that I've been here. And, at the end of the day, I've hit my lowest lows here and my highest highs. And when it came to my personal life, I feel like it was honestly the toughest position I've been in, like mentally and emotionally here in Hawaii. Even though it's like the most beautiful state, you can live in the most beautiful place, but it can only mean so much if you're going through things personally, right? And I feel like especially when, like, say my last relationship fell through, and you guys have been following me, that I was engaged. I came here, I was expecting to get married. We have been in a relationship for like 5 or 6 years. I forgot, to be honest. But we were a couple months away from the wedding. My family had already bought tickets to go to the venue, which was in another state. And so we were sending out to save the dates, and pretty much everything fell through. And I felt like emotionally, like, why is this happening to me? Like, it just kind of caught me very off guard. And so it was hard to get out of that slump. But, I do believe everything happens for a reason, especially after going through all that, and timing is everything. And I feel like if you're going through the hardest point in your life, you're going to get through it, and you have to. In a way, you kind of have to fight to get through it. But man, like, once you get past that point, it's like exhilarating. It's like doing a hike and getting to the top, and you're like, well, that was the hard part, And so I was able to get past that. I was able to make new relationships and meet my girlfriend here. And, I wouldn't have ever met her if all these things didn't happen, if all these things didn't happen the way that they did. I'm in a really good place in my life, and I do consider myself very blessed to be here. That's my motivational words for this video. I've learned a lot, especially working in a joint assignment in a combatant command. So even though I came here to Hawaii as an Air Force Tech Sergeant, I transferred to the Space Force pretty much as soon as I checked into the unit. And I worked with other sailors and soldiers, because it's all different branches working in the same unit doing the same mission, and you get to kind of see how each branch operates and how different they are in a way of their terms of thinking. Like, you can be working with an army guy and he just starts doing push-ups and you're like, that's kind of weird. Random other things like that, right? The different branches facilitate different cultures, and so I think that's what makes being in a joint unit so interesting. And to be able to take all that knowledge and kind of use it for yourself is something that I'm lucky to be able to take away from this experience. I am excited to go back to a normal Space Force unit or Space Delta. I have not seen how they exactly operate since the Space Force has became its own thing. I know through the last couple years, the Space Force has been going through some growing pains. Processes are constantly evolving and changing, so just looking forward to going back to it. Within the last 4 years, I definitely have seen my presence on social media and my different platforms really increase, especially on YouTube. I started TikTok a couple years ago here in Hawaii, and that kind of blew up. I got about 80,000 followers on TikTok, and I think that also opened up a lot of opportunities through social media and my platforms, content creation. I was able to collaborate with other creators and even collaborate with official Air Force and Space Force recruiters. So I think it definitely opened up the door in terms of that, and I do enjoy being able to bring awareness to what I've done the last 13 years, what exactly Space System Operation does, or what Space Force is really for, because right when this thing was first established, a lot of people didn't really know what we did, and rightfully so, right? Space Force still sounds like it's a meme and it's something science fiction, but it's not science fiction.
20 kilometers in closing.
Collision averted, sir.
It's what we do.
All
every
objects
day.
are accounted
I think
for.
that was an
Good job.
Air Force slogan, but yeah, going forward, that definitely has presented a lot of opportunities for me. And just in general, I think the Space Force has started to start shifting their recruiting focus in a better way, because when the first recruiting ad came out for the Space Force, it was like, maybe your purpose on this earth isn't on this earth. And if I were a kid in high school and I saw that, I'd be like, oh cool, so if I join Space Force, I'm gonna go to space. Well, you're probably not going to go to space, but you will learn different things, whether it's with satellites and the satellite systems, or whether it's intelligence or cyberspace operations. It's definitely a growing field, and the Space Force is the newest branch. We're a very technical branch, and we have very technical jobs. They're not exactly boots on the ground combat jobs, but that's why we have the Army, the Air Force, each branch that really serves its own purpose. But what I'm doing is doing something that doesn't get as much publicity, and half the time everything in regards to Space System Operations is classified, so you don't have people openly talking about what exactly they do because they're classification levels. Within the last 13 years of working Space System Operations, I can say that I've done pretty cool jobs and met some pretty cool people, developed relationships that I would have never had if I had not joined the military, or even the Space Force in general, or Air Force, since I joined the Air Force, transferred to the Space Force. Expect more things coming to this channel. At the end of the day, I started this YouTube channel documenting my journey as a airman going into the Air Force. Recruiter called me and he said, yeah, one of your jobs opened up and you're leaving on August 29. It was Space Systems Operations. Now, what I've been reading up on that, it's like you do stuff with the satellites, and I just know I'm gonna have to study a lot. And even though some people don't like it, or some people think it's cringe, I still do it because hopefully when I get to 20, I can look back at these videos and say I have something to show for it, or I can say this somewhat helped someone make the decision to join or do something else. I'm not a recruiter. Okay, I just make these videos for fun, and I'm not promising if you join the Space Force all your problems go away. What I can guarantee you also get more opportunities to learn, and really at the end of the day, it's your perspective on things. So, you may be wondering, why is it not my year? Maybe it's because next year is your year. And if you guys have any recommendations on things I should cover, please let me know in the comments below. Again, I love you guys. Thank you for the support. That's why I always keep pushing out these videos. I think that's all I have to talk about. As always, I appreciate you guys, and stay safe, keep grinding, and y'all take it easy.